Welcome to the world of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Damn it. Welcome to the world of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Welcome to Sekiro, Shadows Die... God damn it. Welcome to Sekiro, Shadows... Son of a bitch. Welcome to Sekiro... Alright, maybe we can talk here. Welcome to Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. If you didn't figure it out already, this game can be a bit challenging. The biggest nod to its difficulty is the publishing splash screen when loading the game, made by From Software, the makers of the Dark Souls series as well as Demon Souls and Bloodborne. Though, this really shouldn't be a make it or break it point for you, because even though this game was made by From Software, the gameplay mechanics, the story, the setting, and a lot of other things about the game are really too good to pass up. I will say the challenge of the game is the first time you encounter a boss, or a mini-boss, or when you enter a new zone and start to encounter and learn about the enemy and how they work. The real challenge is learning, adapting, and overcoming everything you fight. The mechanics, first of all, are the meat and potatoes of the experience. Combat is more about straight-up sword fighting with minor uses of items and tools. You could literally play through the entire game without the use of items that give you an edge, because raw mechanical skill and knowledge of the enemy is greatly rewarded in the game. Along with abilities and passive abilities you unlock via skill points, the game gives all the necessary tools to defeat not only the mobs you encounter, but also the mini-bosses and the actual bosses. And if raw skill isn't enough to carry you through the game, as noted in the title Shadows Die Twice, the game has a resurrection mechanic with a max total of 3 lives that you can unlock to help you get through the game. So, let's talk combat. You learn in the beginning that the basics are swinging the sword to elicit damage to not only the health bar, but also something called the posture bar. Imagine wailing on someone with a sword in real life, not giving them a chance to find their balance and catch their breath, to eventually break through their guard to find a lethal opening. This is what, in essence, the combat in the game is about. Death by either lowering their HP to 0, or breaking through their posture to get something called a death blow, which is a one-shot kill mechanic. Also, keep in mind that this mechanic works for everything in the game, from easy level 1 trash enemies to the endgame boss fight. What you need to do is adapt your tactics to fit this mechanic with every encounter. Doing so limits the amount of damage you take, and also kills your opponents quickly and efficiently. Once you start to understand how this mechanic works, the rest of the game will start to fall in line. Like I said before, the difficulty is going to be the first time you experience something you've never seen before, but once you understand how they work, it's a piece of cake. Now, the game takes place in Japanese history during the Sengoku period, or the Warring States period, which could be anywhere between 15th and 17th century Japan. And you play a shinobi by the name of Sekiro, which translates to the one-armed wolf. In the prologue of the game, you're found at the edge of a reservoir sitting alone until someone drops a letter telling you to go to this moon view tower, where you eventually meet up with Kuro, the divine heir, who is your master and the person you as a shinobi pledge your sword to protect and serve with your life. Now, after a short exchange between you and the divine heir, you leave him in the moon view tower and progress toward the other end of the reservoir, on the way learning the combat mechanics, fighting some early game enemies, and even fighting a mini-boss. Eventually, you arrive at the other end of the reservoir to call Kuro to join you. You then leave to the Silvergrass Field, where you are met with one of the main antagonists of the game, Genichiro Ashina. And after a short and perilous boss fight, you are left on the ground, absent your left arm. Upon reawakening next to this old man known only as the Sculptor, who helps save your life as well as give you this prosthetic arm, you are then tasked with saving Kuro from Genichiro all the way from Ashina Castle. As for the remainder of the story, that is up to you to find out. And after already completing the game, I can firmly tell you, you have to experience it for yourself, or, go watch a Let's Play or something. Anyway, the game has a lot to offer in terms of content for a single-player game. The combat, as mentioned before, is pretty straightforward. However, the amount of items and abilities and tools that you can acquire and use throughout the game offer many different ways to play and fight. The game offers main story bosses and mini bosses that probably go above 30 in total, where some of course are optional to the completion of the game, and also depending on what ending you go after in the game. There's a 4, by the way. However, these bosses also offer items that help you later in the game, so it's up to you if you want to do them. The zones in the game can seem pretty lengthy, especially if you're having a hard time getting through the enemies that you encounter. All in all, in my first blind playthrough that I livestreamed on my Twitch channel, it took me about 30-ish hours to fully complete the game. But there does exist New Game Plus, and be warned, for story-related purposes, it may very well be an option you'll likely choose to do. All I can say is the game was exciting the first time, and I'm ready to tackle it again. At least in New Game Plus, you get to keep pretty much everything you required in the first playthrough, so it shouldn't be too bad. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to give this video a like if you liked it, comment down below about the game or the video, and also, if you can share this video to your friends, family, neighbor's dog, whatever, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe to see what other games I cover. My upload schedule I'm trying to keep is a new video every Friday, so be sure to look out for that. Go ahead and click the top video if you want to see the last game I covered, and go ahead and click the bottom one to see something YouTube wants you to watch. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.